Hey guys, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. For those of you who I have not had a chance to meet, my name is Zhang. I am the founder and instructor for Real World Product Marketing. I also run a product marketing advisory firm, and as well as help run a community called Product Marketing Masters. So all the links, I guess, in the show notes, feel free to kind of check them out. I'm based here today in sunny San Francisco, and basically, I put together these conversations with various marketing leaders and host them on my blog and host them on my Facebook page, where hopefully you're watching this from, just to get the information out there. I think for those of us who even live inside or outside of Silicon Valley, there's such a plethora of marketing talent, and especially product marketing talent, that isn't necessarily shared with the rest of the world. And that's sort of what my goal is with these videos, or these interviews, I should say, in terms of helping people like yourself level up your product marketing, your marketing career, and think about what are the various paths that you can take with this amazing foundation. Or if you're a career switcher, how to think about breaking into product marketing and what a career in product marketing could even look like. Obviously, there's a lot of different paths. I've taken probably a quote non-traditional one, in the sense that I've gone on to create my own consulting company, and now I teach classes and do one-on-one coaching online. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to check that out. I'm a big fan of case-based learning. I think you just can't learn product marketing watching a $14.99 Udemy video. It's really about practice and having someone coach you and redline your messaging and positioning. And so over time, you really think versus do like a product marketer. And so that's what my course is sort of based around, this whole idea of being able to do group-based case discussions. So you submit assignments based on real-world cases that I've created based on my own clients, my own experiences, whether that be from my Microsoft, my Marketo days, or some of the other clients that I have. So enough about me. Let's get into the meat of why you're here. So Chandar and I had the pleasure of working together at Marketo, actually. He, I think, came on to be the VP of product marketing and corporate marketing, and then eventually went on to become the CMO. So I learned a lot from him in my days there when I used to lead the enterprise product marketing team. I think the thing I really appreciate about him is, he talks a lot about this in the interview, which is about spin and how do you create pithy, succinct messaging. I really didn't understand how much of an art and science that is, and how important that is, whether you have a direct-to-consumer product, B2C, or you're trying to educate a sales team to be able to tell your messaging and your story. So for those of you who are old enough to remember marketing automation, let's call it 6-7 years ago, there was a long tail of providers out there, everyone from Pardot, Eloqua, Marketo, obviously, HubSpot, Silverpop, Blue Sail. I mean, the list goes on, and it was super saturated, very crowded, similar to kind of how the space is today. And one thing that I worked on, and I allude to in the interview with Chandar, is that we actually made a decision to position our way away from marketing automation and actually reposition Marketo as an engagement marketing platform. In fact, to this day, as you guys may know, Adobe bought Marketo. They still call themselves an engagement platform. They dropped the marketing so that they can, touch more than just the marketing side. But when we had created the engagement marketing platform, we'd come up with the ABCDEs of engagement marketing as individuals, based on what they do continuously over time, directed towards an outcome everywhere they are. So really, 7 years later, I can still regurgitate that and tell the whole story around, engagement marketing means building one-on-one personalized relationships at scale. Kind of crazy to think about, but that is actually the power of storytelling, that 10 years later or 7 years later, I can still tell that to you. And more importantly, hopefully our salespeople can still tell that story to their customers, who can then parlay that onto their peers and their buyers. So Chandar and I cover a range of topics, everything from his career to common advice that he gives to marketers earlier in their career, and obviously how to measure product marketing and the 4 Ps as you think about accumulating those experiences and competencies to become hopefully CMO or GM or CEO even. Questions, comments, feel free to reach out to me directly or comment below. Look forward to hearing from you, and yeah, let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to see. Quick heads up, you'll see in the video, half of me is cut out, unfortunately. Clearly we didn't get the angle right, but you know what? Hey, c'est la vie, and more importantly, the content is still there. So with that, have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from you. Let me know what else you'd like to hear. Bye. All right. Hi, Chandar. Thank you so much for joining today. Such a pleasure to be able to connect with you again. We worked together previously at Marketo, where you were the CMO, and now you're the CMO here at Coupa. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your journey in marketing and what's led you to today?
It's great, and Shyna, I feel like deja vu once again. I feel like in an old Marketo meeting or something.
You got your purple on.
I got my purple on. No, but I also got my Coupa blue on.
That's
too.
great.
But it's great. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Great to see you again. So talk about my own journey. Careers are at the intersection of passion and DNA. Regardless of where you go to school or what you do, ultimately you have to find what you're passionate about and where we have a core DNA for. As my wife reminds me, I'm very passionate about music. My problem is my wife reminds me DNA is not that great. So I can hope we have a great career in that. But for me, I did management consulting and other things, but my calling in life used to be a marketer. And I discovered that somewhere around about 20 years ago. And really be a marketer for life is really my tagline. And I grew up in the product marketing, strategic marketing area, but lucky enough to have learned over the years the other aspects of marketing. Really, being worked for some really strong people and worked with some strong people to understand behind generation corporate marketing. So heart of hearts, strategic positioning marketer with a lot of passion for brand, and that's how it kind of rolled into my CMO brand.
Got it. So tell me about the top 5% of product marketers that you hired or worked with or been mentored by. Like, what really helps them stand apart?
It's a good question, Shyna, and I think if I put it in a sentence, they are strategic storytellers, right? And if I kind of thin slice on that, there's a strategic part and there's a storytelling part. And the strategic part is really able to understand, what it takes to win in a certain market segment. And it really understands the plays that you want to run and bring that strategic thinking around go-to-market and how do you bring, what are the right plays to run what segment, and so how do I multi-dimensionally think about the problem and really be the orchestrator of success within a certain segment in kind of a mini GM kind of role. May not have the authority, but have that influence from that perspective to go kind of think that strategic mindset. So that's the first one. The storytelling, the great product marketers are people who are able to tell stories not at a product level, but at a brand level, at a solution level, at a customer level, etc. And really bring that Spielbergian skill set into storytelling to really connect. Because at the end of the day, any marketing is about emotionally connecting. Even if it's B2B, it's about building those connections with the brand. And great product marketers are able to tell stories and really be strategic along with it while telling those stories.
It's really interesting. I hear a lot about storytelling, category creation, to your point, solution selling. How does one become a better storyteller? It's not like you can go get your MBA in storytelling. So if we could, I'm sure you would fish from the pond to hire. But how does someone improve upon that skill?
It's a great question, and I would say that there's 3 different flavors to it, right? The first thing is a mindset. That the mindset to be outside in as a storyteller rather than inside out. Because a lot of product marketers tend to be product marketers. They're talking about their products and how great it is. And some of the better ones are outside in value marketers. And I've always said that people buy candles not because they want candles, it's because they need light. And so start with the value and work inwards to your product rather than starting with your product and going outwards to all the values. So that's one. So that is kind of gets you in the mindset of being a solution value-based marketer rather than product marketer. The second aspect is, as Malcolm Gladwell says, strong words, short sentences. The ability to really tell very succinctly, we put it in a metaphor or analogy or something that sales really grasp, and do it in a way that's very, very succinct, pithy, epic, memorable. Those are the words I use when I look at some messaging saying, is it epic? Is it memorable? Is it catchy? Is it punchy? The ability to do that, right? And the third is being relevant and contextual to today. So a great story today could be how the Game of Thrones analogy with what the ending was and how do you connect your story to that. Or something that is topic du jour and connecting to that. And for example, Mark Benioff is a great storyteller at Salesforce because he's always attaching the Salesforce story to the topic du jour and what's happening right now. And the ability to connect that in a way that's relevant, interesting, meaningful, and epic to people. And that's what I think is some of those skills. Nobody is perfect, we're all learning, but having those mindset to think outside in, to be pithy, epic about it, and then connecting into the relevant topic of the day would be great examples of how we can do better storytelling.
Chandar, one thing I always appreciate about you from working together is the Chandarisms. I remember one of the best ones I ever heard, and it sticks with me to this day, is it's hard to see the label when you're inside the bottle.
Yes, yes.
So I really take that to heart. A lot of times when I'm even writing my own messaging, to your point, thinking outside in and thinking about how would this look from someone who hasn't seen the inner workings and is just looking at it at a blink reaction.
Yep, there you go.
So we are here in Silicon Valley. So as you know, one of the things that Peter Thiel has this saying of is, how are you contrarian, right? So what is the one thing that you uniquely believe that no one else in the world believes? So I'm going to ask you that. It could be about product marketing. It could be around your career. It could be around marketing. It could be about your own success and your own journey. Like, what do you think has really helped you in the sense that maybe other people don't find as popular of a belief?
It's a great question. So I talk about me personally, then I talk about product marketing, right? So when I was going to engineering school in India, for example, right? I used to do theater, I used to do some drama, I used to do singing competition, etc. The logical path for a lot of people out of undergraduate in India was to go and get a master's in engineering, because undergrad engineers. But I immediately knew that this is probably not my calling. So it was contrary enough to say that I'm going to go to business school when I was 21 years old and then go do that. So that kind of, I knew early, I probably didn't know what I was great at, but I knew what I was not good at. And having the mindset to go shift and be contrarian rather than follow the path of going to be, getting a master's in engineering or something like that, right? And that really helped me, shape me, and gave me the early pivot I needed to go into business career and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now, as a marketer, being contrarian is very, very important when you're establishing yourself as a brand. Now, one of the mistakes a lot of brands do is that if you're trying to compete against a leader, trying to be the same as them but messaging along the same lines doesn't get you there. And you have to take their biggest strength and flip it to a weakness, right? So, for example, I just remember Mark Benioff talking about when Siebel and all these guys were talking about it was the world's best software. He came and said, "I'm no software." Of course, he was all the software.
Anti-software.
But it was the spin that I'm no software because I'm on the cloud. So the ability to take a strength and flip it to a weakness. You look at this, the 7-Up, the Uncola versus the cola, right? You look at Taco Bell saying that it's not about the bun, right? And everybody else is talking about the burger. So that is contrarian messaging. Take the leader's biggest strength and flip that into a weakness, right? And that's what great marketers do. And they're able to re-engineer the vision into what's helping their story, despite what the leader is saying in the market and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
The example is Coke. When Coke says, "I'm the real thing," Pepsi says, "I'm the choice of the new generation." Again, trying to take the leader's thing and flip it in terms of what is contrary.
Another Chandarism. Are you Pepsi, are you Coke, or are you RC Cola? Because no one remembers RC Cola.
They don't. You have to be. It's true. Again, going back to, going back to product marketing, right? What makes a successful product marketer really is, because it's very difficult to measure the success of product marketing. If you think about it, you have sales messaging or pricing or positioning. No sales guy you and I know is going to come and say, "I won because Shyna's messaging was great or the pricing was great." He or she's going to say, "It's me," right? So how do you measure success? The measurement of success is ultimately making your brand, having the win rate for your brand in such a way that you end up as Coke or Pepsi and not RC Cola. You better be number one or number two in your markets. And product marketing is a big, big, big influence on shaping that leadership position in the marketplace.
So for someone who's at a company who feels like, you know what, call a spade a spade, this is the RC Cola of the market, what advice do you have for them?
Figure out, is there a way for you to become Coke or Pepsi? Otherwise, get out. That would be my advice, right? You have to start. Now, here is, if you kind of peel the onion and look at it, Why are they RC Cola and not Coca Pepsi? Is that a strategic problem? Is that an operating readiness problem? Or is there a customer satisfaction problem? Right? Which one is it? Are they going after the wrong market? So I'll tell you an example of my own thing is when we were doing a company called Cast Iron, we kind of had a very differentiated product, but when we went after the core market, which was the enterprise integration market, we were the RC Cola in the market, not Coca Pepsi.
Yeah.
The reason was these well-established players had really sophisticated functionality that we could never compete with from that perspective. So it was kind of a positioning thing. We were positioning it wrong. So in that market segment, we would never have been Coca Pepsi. We would have only been RC Cola. But when we realized that we have to position this, our capability for a segment that values our differentiation, because our differentiation is simplicity, not sophistication, then we said we have to go after the SaaS market, where we soon became Coca Pepsi rather than RC Cola. So product marketing has a big, big influence in making sure that you're Coca Pepsi and not RC Cola.
Yeah, it's a very successful exit for Cast Iron as well, which got sold to IBM.
Yes,
so.
it was the first cloud computing company. I think one of the first or second cloud computing company IBM ever bought. So it's a fun place.
So the last two CMOs that I think I've worked for have all come through product marketing. As you know, you can't get a degree in product marketing. So can you help people envision, like, what does a career in product marketing look like? Obviously, CMO is one route that you've obviously taken, and maybe is it CEO, COO, GM? Like, what are the things that people can do beyond the head of VP of product marketing?
Yeah, it's good. It's one of the most difficult skill sets that to find in organizations at all levels, even at the entry level, because it brings those, again, about the strategic storytelling. It's a different multidimensional skill set. You have to think, you have to tell, you have to do. The do is all the sales enablement and all those pieces. The think is the strategic go-to-market pieces. The tell is the storytelling pieces. So think, tell, do, all those components. Tough to find people great at all those three things, right? But to me, as someone grows in their career in product marketing, there's probably, three branches for them, right? One branch definitely is to be a CMO. And especially if organizations are looking for strategic CMOs, as opposed to CMOs who are just predominantly doing brand level work or CMO, because every CMO comes from some kind of DNA, right?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to strategically position the company, do category creation, and win the marketplace through strategic positioning and messaging, that's a great path for the CMO path. Like, for example, I had the honor of supporting you at Marketo, Chandar Pattabhiram before me. So that's a great path for a CMO. The second path is being the general manager, GM of a functional unit, of a product line. So let's just say a company has, creates a $100 million product line and says, I want to go make it $500 million or $1 million. That multi-dimensional skill set, being the orchestrator, getting the right playbook across sales, marketing, services, engineering, and it's kind of a GM bringing all these things together. May not need to have the authority to own all those functions, but has the ability to impact and influence those functions as an orchestrator or GM.
And carry the P&L.
The P&L, exactly. Ultimately, if you own a number early in your life, the path, it gets to the third path, which is if you do that, then it gives a great CEO path. At IBM, one of the things I learned was if you look at the people who became big general managers of IBM for multi-billion-dollar product units, they all came from this what they call product lifecycle management, PLM background, which was around what we call product marketing. They're ready to understand messaging and positioning and strategic go-to-market and those things. So that skill set inherently lends itself to kind of the CEO role if you get the P&L responsibility and scale yourself. So it's a very, very exciting work. My boss, or someone who supports me in Coupa parlance, right, Rob Bernstein, he grew up in the product marketing area. Actually, he's the CEO of a $6.5 million company.
There you go.
So I think that skill set can go all the way right to the top.
For your peers out there who are saying, okay, I didn't come up through the product marketing route, but I need a head of product marketer and someone who's really strategic and able to do the storytelling that you're talking about. What advice do you have for them? Because I get that inquiry all the time. Where do I find these people who can lead these teams?
Yeah, I think you have to really, really understand, first of all, what are you looking for? Are you looking for somebody that is predominantly driving sales enablement in a more execution-oriented role? Are you looking for somebody who's going to help go create category creation and drive strategic messaging to the marketplace? if it's the, because different sizes of companies have different needs based on other personalities. Sometimes product management takes a different role in the organizations, etc. If you're doing that, I would just say that do not compromise on two specific set of skills. Skill number one is the ability to think multi-dimensionally at the intersection of products and markets. Right? That's a very important skill if you're looking for somebody strategic. So really understand, can a person multi-dimensionally think about products and markets and how you kind of go attack that. And second, does that person have spin? And it's like the definition of something else. When you see it, you'll know it. When you hear it, you'll know it in this case, that the spin, the ability to take something and spin it and connect with stories, and the more examples you ask them to give you, you can discern that skill set.
Yeah.
I would do that. And the third I wouldn't discount is the ability to support people, lead them, and guide them to success. And I had the pleasure of supporting you at Marketo. I had the pleasure of supporting a great team at Coupa. But really enabling their success and stuff would not be a skill set I would describe.
Coach and mentor.
A coach and a mentor. And it's very important.
Chandar, who do you think in the marketing space is doing particularly interesting things around product marketing or their positioning and their go-to-market?
It's a good question. We talked about
Videography.
in the organization. That's kind of an outlier. Mark's been a great storyteller and continues to be relevance being this big thing in storytelling. It's one of those things. I remember when you and I were at Marketo, even somewhat of a boring company, as you can look at New Relic, for example, told some great stories.
Yeah.
Right? The Data Nerd campaign that you wrote about, I was thinking about, it's not the space, it's the story
Totally.
that ultimately connects. I just went back on that. And today, even small companies that have intellectual humility not only look at large companies, but even small companies that have some creative storytelling, like Nick and Mike Berger at ASI, we learned some good stuff there. I look at the Drift guys that come out and they come some good stories, trying to connect. So it's a good thing to keep all of us marketers honest in terms of having a beginner's mindset to learn some of these smaller brands as much as some of the bigger brands like Salesforce, etc.
Yeah. Talking about the beginner's mindset, I've read some of the things you've written on LinkedIn, so plug there for those people who haven't checked it out. You have some articles that are published.
Some.
You talk a lot about your own, how you keep current, let's put it that way, in marketing and keeping yourself accountable and your team and the growth involved in that. Are there any resources? Is there any advice in terms of people trying to your point, adopt that beginner's mindset and continuously improve?
Yeah, I would say is, take 1 hour a week, right? Whether you thin slice it as 15 minutes a day or whatever the math is, or you want to do it in 1 hour chunk. Take 1 hour a week, that's a Saturday morning or during the week, to read, right? To really, like the delta is, what did I learn this week that I did not know last week? And get that beginner's mindset into that, and really trying to keep abreast of the space as well as challenge your thinking in some new ideas. So I try to take a breadth of areas, right, from general business like the Harvard Business Review, which has some great articles on general management, on culture, on growth, on strategy, or even things they call leadership, and those kind of important things, as well as very domain-centered things in marketing. I look at whether there's underlying folks and a lot of good folks write about it, as well as other publications for marketing, like even HBR has a marketing series, and the podcast. I started listening to marketingtrends.com, and there's another one that the revisionist history that I started listening to. Great. Yeah, it's a great one of those pieces. And third is for me my own domain in the business and management space, and how do I keep myself abreast on what's going on in that space. So that's kind of because general leadership, culture, management, very domain to my function of marketing, and three is into my domain of the space that we are in, etc. But spend about 1 hour very rigorously every week. Don't miss on that to learn more than you've done last week.
Keeping yourself disciplined.
Discipline and accountable to yourself. More than anything else, to yourself. That perspective.
So I'm going to ask you some embarrassed question. What's the one resource, $100 and below, that has been the most impactful? Doesn't have to be your own marketing. It's just been the most helpful for you, and that you really think has helped you become more productive.
So, can I tell you a book?
Absolutely.
Okay. So there's a book for $15. It's called It's called Positioning: The Battle for Your Mind. I request every product marketer to spend $15 to buy the book. It was written in the 80s by two of the greatest marketers in America, called Adam and Zhang. A lot of the millennial generation probably don't know them, right? But that $15 can be very, very well spent to shape a career in product marketing today. The examples may have been of the companies in the 80s, and you might get a good laugh at some of those companies now. But the storytelling and the frameworks and the thinking that you have to do as a product marketer is fantastic. So read the book, Positioning, The Value for Your Mind. I know you've read it. For all those listening, that'll be a great $15.
Best $15 you spent.
Best $15 I've spent.
You know, it brings up a good point, which is product marketing, since I'm sure, you and not to imply anything, into the workforce, has evolved, right?
Yes,
in fact,
I am.
That's not what I said. So when we think about some of these, more traditional product marketing frameworks through pragmatic works or whatever it may be, like, how have you seen in your day-to-day the product marketing function shift, especially in this SaaS world where it's agile development, push code daily, jobs to be done, waterfall, etc. Like, how has product marketing had to evolve?
Yeah, I think most of those frameworks are least common denominator because they're trying to go after a bunch of different companies and trademark frameworks. So parts of it is valuable, but again, a lot of it is not. So what you learn in school, that's right to your point, it's the practical framework. Some of the stuff you're doing in terms of going back and teaching what whether we did in Marketo or other companies we did in Microsoft and stuff like that. And it's practical based frameworks rather than some theoretical based framework. And to me, I think over the years, it's one of those functions where it's very, very difficult for people to kind of understand how do you measure success in this function, right?
I get that all the time.
And it's always has been like, okay, fine, what is great product marketing versus average product marketing? And marketing itself is a perception-based game. And so people are like, everybody's a marketer to begin with. And so it becomes challenging. So the way I looked at the frameworks is, for my simplest way, I look at the four things in product marketing. I gave you three, so there's the 4 P's. I'll give you the 4 P's of product marketing, right? The way I look at it. There's personas. First, to understand personas. The framework I use. And based on some of the experiences we've had. Personas, because there's no such thing called markets. Markets are nebulous. Personas are real, like the people who are people.
Yeah.
What a person, really understanding these personas. Then the plays you want to run. Going back to the strategic skills. The plays you run, what are the right plays that create rinse and repeat motions? Because the job of product marketing is to help sales create rinse and repeat motions in specific personas and specific settings.
Absolutely.
Right? Personas, plays, and then help with the demand gen. What are the programs I'm going to run with the right stories? And that's the kind of the storytelling piece, and of course the execution of that comes through demands and etc. And finally, the performance of how you're doing. Right? So 4 P's: the program, the personas, the plays, the programs, and the performance. And in performance, the way the framework, and in this framework, the way I started to evaluate our success as a product marketing team is 1, pipeline. You might question why is product marketing responsible for pipeline, but at the end of the day, as much as demand gen is doing the tactics, all the messaging is coming from product marketing, so there has to have a vested interest in that. Right. 2, win rates. Now, what is the effectiveness of a great sales presentation? What's the effectiveness of a great pricing strategy or some great vertical-based case study or something that you gave when your team gave you? The answer is sales needs to win more and win faster. So we are measuring win rates as part of that. And the third measurement we're also using is are we able to increase ASPs and sales cycles, right? So those are tangible measurements in terms of performance and saying product marketing. For win rates, if you win more, you win faster and you win bigger, product marketing seems to be doing a good job.
I love that. I will say, Chandar, you've had one of the most influence in my own career in terms of being able to tell difficult concepts like you just did in a very succinct, memorable, and concise way. I remember at Marketo, like this whole engagement marketing platform and the ABCDEs of engagement marketing.
Don't you love those?
I love it to this day. Whenever people talk
You
ask about marketing, I can still spit those off like we did that yesterday.
You did a lot of that work, so let me cover that.
So I just wanted to thank you, first of all, for that mentorship and that coaching and that guidance. And let me ask you this, what do you want your marketing legacy to be?
Well, I want to have 2 legacies, right? And hopefully, be humble about it. No, let me say that again. Ask me the question. What do you want in the marketing legacy? Let me ask the question. Cut this out. Let me ask the question. You can cut it out. My marketing legacy, good question, Shyna. You're making me feel old now. Which you am.
No,
but
not at all.
No.
Young at heart.
Young at heart, right. I have 2 things, right? I think one is, did I help create game-changing companies in the marketplace? Right, in my own humble way, because what's the success of marketing? Because ultimately it's win the battle for the mind of those buyers and win the marketplace. Only those who win the mind win the marketplace. So Coupa, I'm very humbled and proud to be part of a great team that is number one in its, in its category in business spend management. And growing, and all the stuff we did in Marketo, and the people before us, what we did, and then people after us with picking the brand, and I think it positioned itself as, you know, as a brand, the marketing, as much as marketing automation, the marketing nation, and the work that was done by Sanjay and team, and how engagement marketing that you and I worked on and stuff like that. That is one thing, help creating great leading SaaS companies.
Yeah.
The second is also a legacy of help creating great leading SaaS companies, CMOs, or GMs, right? And to me, that is, I'm more proud of that than the first one. People like you and, you know, other people that I have supported, like whether it's, you know, all the people we work with, Marketo, people like who are today's and tomorrow's great leaders. And if I can, in my own humble way, you know, foster their success and shape their contribute in a small way to their success, that's what I like my leadership to be. And, you know, there's a whole Mahatma Gandhi quote, which is great, like, great leaders are not those who have great followers. Great leaders are not those defined by how many followers they have, but how many leaders they create. So I felt that is really, really distilled.
That is beautiful. Although I must say there have been a lot of people that have followed you as well. So you got both sides of the coin there. I know you're hiring here at not only for product marketing, but other marketing roles. Why don't you tell, for those who aren't as familiar about what Coupa is, you know, your team, what you're looking for, and how to get in touch.
Great. So get in touch. Chandar, CHNDR at Coupa.com. That's the easy part. So what Coupa is, really the market leader for business spend management. And if you really think about it, any company, every company makes money, every company spends money. And what Salesforce.com is to sales is what Coupa is to spend. Well, they have a platform for all aspects of selling and customer relationship management. We have a platform for all aspects of buying and business spend management. And that's, you know, procurement, invoicing, expenses, strategic sourcing, and, you know, contract lifecycle management, a number of areas. There's more than $1 trillion of spend that goes through Coupa's platform today across some of the greatest companies in the world and a lot of mid-market companies. So really what we're doing is, you know, scaling this function to the next stage of our growth in our paths to be $1 billion in terms of our revenue, and that's why we're looking for great people across the board, product marketing, other aspects of marketing across the company to have the next great SaaS company to go forward.
All right, Chandar, last question before I let you go. So you've obviously been here in the Valley for an extended period of time, very well connected. You know, for people who come to San Francisco or come to the Bay Area and they're like, why is it that there's so much innovation or VC or whatever you want to call it, this hub here, right? Like, why can't we do this in Austin and Boston and Seattle and some of these other tech up-and-coming cities? Like, what is it, in your opinion, about the Silicon Valley ecosystem that's so special?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, when you have an epicenter, a hub of something, it's kind of metal sharpens metal. And it kind of is a self-fulfilling prophecy that the mindset, the DNA of people waking up in the morning is not about how do I go and go be incrementally different, is how do I go make exponential impact rather than incremental impact.
Yeah.
So it could be an engineer, this is the Valley of Dreams, because there could be an engineer sitting in PayPal in 1999 saying, I can go do coding tomorrow, or I can go create YouTube. We think about it. Or there could be an engineer sitting in Stanford, PhD, and says, I could go get a job in a company, I can go create Google.
Yeah.
Right? So that land of opportunity and having this incestuous ecosystem that is tuned to see success around each other, you know, metal sharpens metal and success breeds success. And when you see these people around you doing that, it inspires everybody to say, hey, listen, you know, I don't have to play for the single or the double. I can play for the double. And bring that passion and that energy to it, and that hunger to it. And there's no place like it, right? So that's why I feel that, you know, it's the hotbed, the epicenter, the queen of whatever we call it. It is that self-fulfilling prophecy. So it's amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Chandar. I'm sure that, you know, your thoughts are going to be really, really, really helpful for people in their own product marketing career journey.
Great. I wish them all the best. It is a very, very exciting profession to be. And one day you might become a CMO, old CMO like me, or do even better things and be CEO. So wishing you guys all the best.